Bull Gang, what's up, Bull Gang? It's your girl D with 8th House Energy here to bring you your May 2020 general read. There will be an extended to this video. It's in the link in the box below. If you need a reading, Taurus, check it out. If you have Taurus in your sun sign, your moon sign, or your Venus, reading number 2, 3, and 4. Okay, for the tarot readings, look down below. Look for the tarot reading section. Numbers 2, 3, and 4 are 50% off. Okay, so that's a 30-minute read. The 30-minute read is $50. So if you get a 30-minute read, it's $25. Okay, if you get the How They Feel About You spread, that one is $30. So it's going to be $15. However, if you want to have someone else, like a third person, like that How They Feel About You spread includes one person. Okay, so that's $15. Now if you want to find out about another person, you're gonna have to add $15 to that. Okay, so I think that's right. Let me make sure that's right before I start lying to everybody in Taurus season and stuff, lying and stuff in the middle of Taurus season. Okay, hold on. Let me not lie, in the middle of Taurus season. Okay, yeah, so yeah, the 30-minute read is $50. Oh, okay, so the How They Feel About You is $50 too. Okay. So the How They Feel About You spread is $50. It's gonna be 25 with the 50% off. And that's how one person feels about you. You give me their date of birth, okay? Now, if there's another person that you have, so if you got like two lovers and you want to find out how both of them feel about you, it's going to be 25 plus 15. All right. Now the finding new love spread is also $50. Okay, so that's 50% off. Okay, so $25 in reference to finding new love. So readings are basically going to be $25 for readings number 2, 3, and 4. Okay. So, and if you add any additional person that you want to find out about in those readings, you're going to add an extra $15. Taurus, I love you guys, and I know it's your birthday. Happy birthday to my Taurus Massive. The Bull Gang is in effect. You guys got a lot going on with you right now. You guys are going through Ascension, okay? And this Ascension has you looking at, what's important to you, what you value. And a lot of you are realizing that it's time for me to value myself. It's time for me to value me, okay? And there's nothing wrong with that at all. So a lot of people may be looking around at you like, wait a minute, what you doing? Look like you're doing something new here. I don't like what you're doing. I don't like how you're feeling. I don't like how you're moving. Well, you know what you can tell them, right? You know where you can tell them to go, right? So, what's going on with the planetary alignments that are going to be adding to this is that in your first house, you're going to have, what's going on? Okay, Mercury's going into Taurus on April 27th, okay? Right in the middle of, well, right at the very, the ending, well, not the ending, but it's in the middle of Taurus season, whatever. So, yeah, Mercury's going into your first house. So you already got Uranus there, switching shit around, making you look at what's going on, making everybody feeling like you a rebel because you trying to do things that's good for you. And, you got a lot of pushback and the feedback from people around you about that. That's a red flag. If they don't want to see you doing well, then you know what you need to do. You need to cut them off, right? So with Mercury going into Taurus on the 27th, you're going to be thinking about all of this because Mercury is all about communication. So you're going to be thinking about these changes that you want to make, and you're going to be expressing that to people, okay? You're going to also be reminiscing about things and looking back at how you were treated before, what things went on with you, and why you're going through this. So you're going through a lot of processing right now. You're going to be thinking about this, analyzing this information, and you're going to be communicating it too to the people who, your friends, your family, whether it's them, whether it's on the side of, look, this is the way things are with me. I'm going through a change right now, so please be patient with me. I'm just, trying to go through things, whether you're talking to your friends, I'm just trying to reevaluate my life, figure out what's important to me and what's not, because I'm feeling like I'm unhappy. To the other extreme where, it might be somebody in your life who's treating you terrible and you're like, look, enough's enough. I'm done with you. And you may be communicating that to them. Or you may be saying, look, we got to change some things or else, that type of thing. You're reaching your limit with people. So they're about to see them bull horns come out, basically. Okay? Is what I'm getting here. Now, we got a lot of retrograde activity going on in Taurus season. So Venus is already in Gemini. And you know, when went into Gemini, this was around the time when COVID started. So people were online communicating, you know, talking to their loved ones online, you know. With Venus going retrograde in Gemini, people are still going to be talking online, but you know, it's going to be more about reminiscing about you know, former love situations. You could be hearing from a lot of people from your past as well, as far as relationships. You could be hearing from some of those people. You may want to reach out to them online. They may want to reach out to you online. And you may just be thinking about them, or they may be thinking about you. Doesn't necessarily mean they'll reach out, but a lot of times a lot of people are going to be thinking about you. And you're going to be thinking about them too, because you're going through that ascension process where you're looking at your situation in love and you're thinking about what it is that you want. What was important to you then may not be as important to you now. Okay, so that's what that retrograde is going to be representing for you all. And then we got Jupiter. Which one is coming first? We got both Pluto and Jupiter. They're both in Capricorn. They're both going retrograde in Taurus season as well. Pluto's going to go retrograde in Capricorn first on April 25th. So what that's going to be is Pluto's all about rebirth, regrowth, regeneration, putting an end to something that no longer is important, and either changing it by giving it rebirth, or you're just going to have something totally new there. So in reference to your career, not only do you have Uranus in your first house changing the way you feel about your money and your possessions and how you make money, you got Pluto here in Capricorn going retrograde on the 25th. So now you're going to be reinventing yourself. So a lot of people are going to be thinking about, okay, what is it that I really wanted to do as far as making money? Maybe I can do that now. Okay, based on, you know, especially with COVID going on, a lot of people temporary off work. A lot of people have gotten fired, or just, you know, on unemployment right now. As far as money is concerned and your career aspirations, you're going to be looking at things, trying to figure out what it is that you can do that's going to resonate with you. Okay, now what Pluto will also do is in the line of your values, your morals, things like that. It's going to be pulling up and unearthing things that you have put into the subconscious. Okay, so and these things that are going to come forth are going to be things that are hindering you from growing. Okay, especially in your career and your money. So any type of uneasy feelings that you have about a situation, in reference to your career or your morals or your values or your self-worth, anything negative that's going on right now, that's Pluto energy. You're probably feeling it right now. It's pulling it to the surface and you're uneasy about it. That's because the universe wants you to deal with this, because this is what's hindering your block. It's what's hindering your growth. Okay, so keep that in mind. If there's a lot of apprehension going on in your life right now, look at that situation or look at that person, place, or thing that's causing that apprehension, and maybe you need to let it go. Okay, or maybe you need to look at why you feel that way about it. And then once you get to that point where you can look at it, assess it, dismantle it, figure it out, then you're going to be able to move forward successfully. Okay, and then we got Jupiter in Capricorn as well. So Jupiter is going to make you sit back and think about what's important to you, because Jupiter is all about wisdom. You know, it's all about long distance travel. So some of you may be thinking, okay, well, you know, do I want to do something online as far as work, because I'm able to reach people all over the place? What do I want to do career wise? How do I want to make money? What is it that is important to me? What did I learn from the things that were going on? So a lot of retrograde going on right now, and it's a moment of reflection. Retrogrades are always a time to reflect on what's going on, okay? And then we also have Saturn is going to go retrograde in Aquarius. Okay, so Saturn is all about lessons. It's all about your karma. It's all about your limitations. You know, what kind of limitations do you have? And Aquarius is all about groups, people getting together, forming a group for one common thing. It could be you and your friends getting together to chill out and hang out for camaraderie. It could be an organization getting together for humanitarian efforts. Okay, but what's going to happen is you're going to be reevaluating your limits in reference to these groups. The limits, the lessons you've learned. A lot of people are going to be getting karma in reference to what's going on with their friendships and their social life. All kinds of interesting energies going on. So just sit back, reflect, and watch what's going on. You don't have to do much. The universe is going to put all of that out there for you. What else is going on? Neptune's in Pisces doing its thing. That's all about glamorizing things. And be careful about people lying, okay? Because the lies are going to be coming out. Okay. We got Saturn in Aquarius, Uranus and Taurus. I think we got it all. Okay, so yeah, Mercury is going into your first house. Venus, we talked about, okay, Mars is in Pisces. Mars in Pisces reminds me of energy of, because Mars is very aggressive, Mars is that warrior. But Pisces is a place of compassion, of love for other people. So you're going to have like a compassionate warrior here. So people are going to be fighting for other people's rights, fighting for those who are disadvantaged. Things like that are going to be going on. And you'll see that in the news. All right. So that's just a quick cap of what's going on with the energies and what you might be experiencing moving forward. Ooh, let me take a breath. That took 10 minutes, child. All right. So current energies. We got the Ace of Cups here. Okay. Scorpio, Cancer, Pisces. We got the Fool card in reverse. That's that Uranus energy I was telling you about. All right. And then we got the High Priestess energy. Okay. This is Moon energy. Now, with these energies here, because we got two major arcana. So as far as love is concerned, you guys are being very careful with what you're doing in love. You're you're using your intuition. Okay. Some of you may not be communicating what's going on with you in reference to love, but you're going to start doing that once Mercury gets into Taurus on the 27th. You may start feeling that energy where you may want to express how you feel in reference to your love relationships. So that energy may be coming. And so for a lot of you, you're realizing that you don't want to jump into anything right away. You want to take your time when it comes to love because you're in the process of going through changes within you. So you may not look at things the same way you used to in reference to how you pick a partner or how you choose a mate. Or some of you may realize that because of the way that you picked a partner and choose a mate, it didn't lead you anywhere productive. So now you're reevaluating how you do that. So what you're doing here, what I'm getting here with this energy is you're just taking your time with things. You're getting to know people. You're slowing down, not doing what you normally did in the past, especially if the past actions didn't get you what you wanted in your relationships. All right. So the current energy here, is the Three of Wands. So yeah, this is all you're thinking about expansion and growth in reference to business and making money. Like I said, with Mercury in your first house, because your house is all about making money and how you get your dough. When people get natal chart alignments, they want to look at what's going on in the house of Taurus because that's how you make your money. So you're thinking about, okay, what can I do? What can I expand upon? And with Jupiter in retrograde in Capricorn, which is the house of career, this is what you're thinking about. You're pondering, what can I do? How do I want to do things? Do I want to do something online where I'm able to connect with people all over? Or yeah, that's what I want to do because that's how I can make a lot of money. I can get, a broader audience that way. So a lot of you are just figuring out what it is that you want to do money-wise. Now, the energies that are positively or negatively affecting that is the Queen of Swords in reverse energy. Now, if this is a love situation, you're looking back, you're looking out and you're saying, okay, in reference to love, I've looked at things unrealistically in the past, or I may not have seen things clearly in the past. Some of you might be very angry because of the way your relationships turned out from the past. Very angry, very frustrated, and still in a lot of pain. Okay. So it's like, okay, well, how do I get past this? What do I need to do moving forward? I need to change the way I'm looking at things. I need to change the way I handle things. I need to change the way I approach things. And this is why we have this energy here. You're tapping into your intuition here because you don't want to jump too quickly, especially when it comes to love. But it could be the same thing with business. You're like figuring out what it is that you want to do to make money. With this COVID-19 thing, a lot of people are in a position now where they were laid off or they were fired or, whatever situation is, a lot of people are having financial difficulty, whatever slot you fall into. And so now you're trying to figure out what the best thing is because for a lot of you, this was something that was unexpected. And as a result of it being unexpected, this is frustrating. Okay, it's very frustrating. And also it's just like, okay, accepting the reality of the situation may be difficult for some of you in reference to making money. The limit that you have now. Some of you are just hoping that this clears up like we all are. But, you know, you have to look at things in a more realistic perspective when it comes to money, okay? And so that's what you're doing when it comes to money, as well as love. Now, in the past here, we have the Two of Wands. So in the past, you were looking at your options already. You were deciding on what you wanted to do, okay? Which direction you wanted to take, okay? So with the two, it was a decision of what you wanted to do. Now with the three, it's all about, okay, now that I've made a decision, what are my options at this point, right? And you want to make sure that you're not in denial about things, that you're not missing things, that you're looking at things from the truthful perspective, a logical perspective. You want to make sure that you're putting plans in place and that you are being very strategic in your process, because maybe some of you were not in the past, whether this was love or career. So in the past, you made a decision, all right? Now, the more recent past, you have the Page of Swords energy. So in the more recent past, now you're sitting back and you're looking at things. Okay, you may not be communicating much about it, but you're definitely thinking about it. You know, with the Page of Swords energy here. And it's like, okay, the decision that I made, what does this decision get me? So this is where you guys are with Uranus in your first house. The communication with Mercury going into your first house on the 27th. Some of you are already in that energy. Okay. And with Libra, you want to make sure with the Queen of Wands in reverse, you want to make sure that it's going to be fair to you and it's going to benefit you. Right? So with this Page of Swords energy here, I'm getting more so of someone, you know, just being curious. Sitting back, taking your time to look at things and just being curious and inquisitive about what's going on. Okay. When it comes to love, it could be, you know, like I said, some of your people from the past may be reaching out to you, or you could be just thinking about them. It doesn't mean you're going to reach out to them, but you could just be thinking about your love situations in the past. All right. And just looking at, okay, well, some of them I jumped in too soon. Some of them, you know, I wasn't using my intuition, you know. And it could be a work situation as well, where you're looking back at, okay, you know I really wanted to do A, B, and C, but I didn't do that. And as a result here, now I'm looking back, reflecting on what choice I made. And maybe instead of going this way, I should have went this way. All right. So that's what I'm getting strongly for you guys. Now the crowning energy, we have the World card here. So this is just energy here with Saturn. Okay. Saturn is in Aquarius, and that's what it's going to go retrograde on May 10th in Aquarius. So this is what I was talking to you earlier about, where you're learning lessons here. Okay. So you're going to be realizing, if you already haven't, and a lot of you are already in that energy, it's just that it's going to start getting more potent to you for those of you who may not be in it yet, or, you know, things may not be readily revealed to you yet, but they will. You're going to start realizing the lessons that you learned in the house of Aquarius. This has to do with friends. Okay. This also has to do with the groups and associations that you're members of. This also has to do with work and career aspirations. A lot of lessons are being learned. And for some of you, it's in all of these areas. You're realizing who your friends are, who they aren't. So you're bringing those cycles to an end. You're realizing, you know, if the love situation didn't work out, you're bringing that to an end. You're learning the lessons. You're realizing if a work situation is not where you really want to be, ideally, you know, maybe the universe with the COVID-19 thing ended that for you, and that could have been a blessing in disguise. You may not realize that because your money might be, you know, slowing down or coming to a halt. But in reality, if you think about it, you didn't even like that damn place anyway. Right? You didn't like what you did anyway. You didn't like what was going on anyway. It was just about the money. All right? But it wasn't something that sat well with your spirit. So you're looking at all these things, and you're looking at all these lessons that you've experienced, and you're taking that information in. Okay? And a lot of things are coming to a close. Some of you are considering travel, as far as, you know, just moving and relocating because you're going through these changes, and you're looking at the past decisions that you made, and maybe some of you decided not to travel, but now you're looking at it like, okay, maybe I should, because in the past you may have had the opportunity to, or you may have been thinking about it, but you put it off for whatever reason, right? And so now you're like, maybe I should travel for that job, or maybe I should relocate to the other country. You know, especially with what's going on now, you got a lot of people who want to leave. All right. And so, you know, these are some of the options that you guys are thinking about. All right. Now, as far as in the near future. What's coming for you? I don't know what this is about, but we're going to clarify it and extend it. We're going to clarify all these and extend it. Excuse me. But the Seven of Swords here could talk about in the future here. This could talk about you not letting people know what it is that you're doing. Not letting people know what your moves are. All right. It doesn't necessarily mean that someone is stealing from someone, but that could be the case. We'll touch on that in a minute. But what this could be is you moving in silence. You processing this information, because again, this is sword energy. So this is about thoughts. Okay. And with Mercury going into Taurus on the 27th, this is you internally thinking about what you want to do and how you want to do things. Okay? Because again, what you're trying to avoid is you're trying to avoid making a fool of yourself. Some of you may have done that in the past. We all have at some point. But you're looking back at that now and you're like, okay, I did this. I did things wrong. You know, I didn't have, you know, my glasses on right. And I'm not trying to make a fool of myself again. So for some of you, it's like, okay, with this lesson here learned about some of your friends, you know, and if they were friends. So now it's like, all right, well, I know I can't tell everybody everything. I need to keep things to myself. Because I realize that these people are not really my friends, or I done told them too much. And what happens is sometimes when you talk to people too much about your business, they feel that over time they have some say. You know, and some of us, we value what our friends say. And so we may go for that. And sometimes we don't realize that these people are not really our friends. So sometimes we play the fool. All right. And so this time it's not going down like that. You're going to do things totally different. You're keeping your goals and your options and your views to yourself. You're thinking about what it is that you really want. And you're not letting people know what's going on. All right. That's what I'm getting with this swords energy here. Some of you, you're realizing that you had some people around you who were deceitful. Some people around you who were stealing from you. You may have been dealing with a loved one, a lover, or a friend, and their ulterior motive was to get you, to take whatever they could from you. And this is you learning that lesson and realizing and accepting that. And that's a difficult pill to swallow with anybody. I don't care what your sign is, right? So you may have that going on too. So this person could have played you for a fool here. Okay. And now you're using your intuition and you're realizing, okay, I need to bring this situation to an end because I don't trust this person. It could be a lover. It could be a friend. It could be your coworker, your employer. I don't trust them. So I'm going to move in silence and do what it is I need to do. And I don't need to let anybody know what I'm thinking or doing. Instead of me, you know, thinking I could trust people and communicate with them. No, I realize I can't do that now. So as far as your fears are concerned, we have major arcana hermit energy. So you're afraid of, I don't know if this is you being afraid of going within and listening to your own opinion, listening to what you feel. Some of you are afraid to do that. Maybe it's because you were afraid to really look at what mistakes you might have made and how you may have been deceiving yourself. And that's a hard thing to do. It's a hard thing to look back and accept the fact that it was me. I made the wrong decisions in reference to love. I was a fool. I should have never went back. Or you know what? I was a fool at work. I should have never told this person my business and what my plans and my goals were. You know, or I was a fool, you know, with my friends, listening to my friends, listening to them, giving me love advice, when in reality, they didn't want to see me happy anyway. So a lot of self-reflection, a lot of introspection, and a lot of accepting some hard, cold facts. This is what this is telling me here. Now, as far as how people see you, we have the devil energy. This is Cancer. I'm sorry, not Cancer. The opposite of Cancer is Capricorn. This is Capricorn energy. Okay, so how people see you, they could see you as this devil energy represents addictions, greed, materialism, obsession, sexual lust. So what could be going on is, because you're afraid to go in and really look at what you were doing and look at your part in the situation. See, when The Hermit is upright. This is you looking at your part and what you played in the situation. When it's in reverse, this is you going within blaming everybody else. So what you're afraid of is looking at, a lot of you are afraid of looking at your own actions, looking at the man in the mirror. Because no matter what goes on in your life, whether it's good or bad, you play a part in it. And so this is the hardest pill for a lot of us to swallow, is the fact that, you know what, I may have did some people dirty. The way I handled the situation, it might not have been right. You know, I might have jumped into things too soon or jumped into things too quickly and then jump right back out. And so, you know, a lot of people are looking at me now as if I'm the bad guy. But this could be on the flip side of things too. A lot of people could be looking at you as the bad guy because you're changing your ways. You're deciding to get rid of people who no longer serve you. So, of course, these people are going to be looking at you like you're the bad guy. Like you're the one who did something wrong to them because you done smartened up. You're no longer a fool. So for some of you, you're no longer a fool means you're the bad guy. Whatever. Tell those people to kick rocks. All right? A big boulder. Tell them to kick it. Real hard, too. See where it gets them. But this is what I'm getting with that devil energy here. Now, as far as what your hopes are, you're hoping to make the right decision. You're hoping to do what works best for you. Your values, your morals, your self-worth, your integrity, your internal law. Like we have laws that we have to follow out here in the world, but your internal laws are what is your values and morals. What I should not do versus what I should do. What I feel is right versus what I feel is wrong. You know, what I feel is fair versus what I feel isn't fair. You just want to make the right decisions. And the universe is calling on you to do that right now. Especially with all these planets in your first house. Uranus in your first house. Also Mercury. Okay, so you're thinking about these things. You're thinking about the decisions you made. Okay? And a lot of that has to do with the self-reflecting. Some of you, you know, you may have been looking at things from a materialistic point of view. Okay? Some of you may be looking at things from an obsessive point of view, and you got to check that. You got to go in and you got to check that energy. Okay? And so some of you are changing now. And there's nothing wrong with that. That's a beautiful thing. You're, like I said, a lot of you are coming, you're going through an ascension. Okay? And so that involves you doing the right thing, making the right thing based on your morals and values and what's important and what you feel is worth you investing in. Now the outcome here, look at that. Look at that. This is what happens when you go through this process of ascension. You're looking at your life, you're reassessing things. Your family life is going to be a lot happier for those of you who have a family life. Okay? You, and even if you're not, this doesn't necessarily have to represent a relationship. This could represent you just being happy within because you've gone through a process where you had to get rid of some things that just didn't serve you. You had to bring some of those cycles to an end. Whether it was negative people, negative behaviors, negative attitudes, addictions, whatever it was. You had to bring it to an end. And so as a result, you're more happier on the inside because of it. This is what you're going through right now, Taurus. Okay? For those of you who are feeling that energy, the confusion, the misunderstandings, they're arguing with everybody. You arguing with everybody for a reason. You getting into it with everybody for a reason. You're not happy for a reason. It's because it's time for you to ascend. It's time for you to assess everything, everyone around you, and determine if they bring value to your life or if you need to wrap it up with them. One or the other. Okay? So what we're going to do is we're going to go into the extended. We're going to tap into this energy and find out a little bit more of what's going on. Okay? And then we're going to get you some advice. So, Taurus, I hope that this energy here, if this resonated enough with you, you don't want to come to the extended, that's cool. But I just want to give you an idea of what you're experiencing based on the planetary alignments and based on the energy I'm picking up from these cards. All right? So we'll go to the extended. The link is in the box below. Feel free to join. It's only $5 a month. You know, you get all the extended videos that I post. And you're not, you know, paying a ridiculous amount of money because we all going through it. We all suffering right now financially, the economy as a whole. So it's not about robbing people. You know, it's about getting that message to you so that you can, you know, make the best decisions for you. All right, Taurus, I'll see you in the extended. I love you guys. Peace out.